Hello, everyone. My name is Elmer Moore, and I'm the project team leader for Scale Up Milwaukee. And we're here again to present another hangout with a fantastic, growing Milwaukee business. Gentlemen, why don't you introduce yourselves and your business?
Sure. My name is Matt Rinka. I'm a principal at Rinka Chung Architecture, as well as an architect.
And I'm Jeff Tredo, also a principal at Rinka Chung Architecture. Although I'm a recent addition within the last year. Happy to join the team, and looking forward to what comes next.
So I love talking about architecture because what you do is so real and tangible. But let's go back in time a little bit and tell the creation story. Matt, what was the inspiration, and how long has it been going? What have you been doing?
Sure, absolutely. We were fortunate enough to celebrate our 10-year anniversary last month, actually in February. And 10 years ago from February, I struck out on my own after being an architect at another local larger firm in the city. It was something that I think a lot of architects sort of dream of and think about during their career. It's a very tough move, though, to go from having a nice paycheck every couple of weeks and striking out on your own and not knowing what the future holds. So 10 years ago, I was prodded by a client that I've had for the last 10 years to make the leap from being an employee of another firm to operating my own. And I was lucky enough to not only meet that individual who continues to be a great client of mine, but that has led to some really amazing and fantastic clients that we serve, not just in Wisconsin, but in, I believe, 15 states across the country now. And it started out as just myself with a laptop, working out of my house for the first 6 months, and then I got a little office space off of Brady Street, and then another office space a couple years later off of Martin Luther King Drive, and then landed in this building where we've moved and grown at least 2 or 3 times. So going from myself to right now, we're 30 people, 30 professionals who are working on some pretty amazing projects throughout the country, as well as in our own backyard. And I will say the opportunity to work on some pretty amazing projects in our own backyard, that's really what gets me up out of bed every day, taking care of clients who are not just clients, but friends who are doing some pretty amazing things themselves. We're fortunate enough to be able to help them and assist them to be as successful as they are. And, to be honest, to have Jeff here for the last year has been pretty fantastic. He challenges me and to grow, and I think has opened my eyes to the clientele and the projects and the people that he interacts with every day. And it's really been an amazing process just in the last year. I will say that when you start a business on your own, you don't realize how challenging sometimes it is to understand how other people view not just your business, but the clients and the projects that we do. And I say challenge because I think challenging is a good thing. It really allows you to see how hard the work it takes to not only gain clients but do great projects. So I appreciate everything that Jeff has brought to the team, and it's really been an amazing growth process in the last year alone.
And Jeff, what made you decide to leave the safety of your firm, if there is such a thing?
I'll tell you, it's interesting. A lot of people don't know this, although it's a story that I've been able to share in the last, in the last year, certainly, as I've joined this team. Right around the time that Matt started his firm, I started a firm with another architect in Milwaukee. And that was 2006. So if you're doing your math, pre-recession, the economy was high flying. And really what drove me to want to leave the safety net of a great job with a great firm 10 years ago was there was a lot of clients in Milwaukee, my hometown, that weren't really getting they weren't getting great service out of the big firms, almost by necessity. A lot of the firms were putting thresholds in place that if the project's not a certain size or dollar amount, we can't touch it. And that frustrated me greatly because I looked at some people that were working really hard, doing great things in the city, educators, some developers and different folks. And to think that they really don't have access to the best people, the best firms. I said that can't be. So that was what led me to really jump out of the safety net of another firm and start something. What was interesting is Matt and I met within a year of Matt starting his firm and me starting mine. And it was actually my business partner at the time, Jason Korb, who introduced us. Jason said, "Man, you got to meet Matt. He's got these great projects, and he's out on his own, and we have some different kinds of projects, and we're out on our own." And I just said, "Look, that's fine. I didn't know who Matt was. I'd heard about Matt, and I hadn't met him before, and we hit it off instantly. I think we had a coffee together, the three of us, and." I think the wisdom that prevailed back then was, look, do we know how to run our firm? Does Matt know how to run his firm? And if not, we're going to take each other's firms down. So let's cool this off. Let's prove to the world that we know what we're doing, and then maybe we can revisit the discussion. And I'll tell you, I have a great deal of respect for everything that not only Jason and I were able to accomplish together, but also really watching and talking to Matt through the last 9 years prior to me coming over, felt like we could really do great things together, serving great clients across a variety of different project types in our hometown, but really also then, working in other areas. And so it wasn't a sudden move. I think it was one that was probably in the works longer than maybe even we realized if you think about it.
So here you are, 15 states and counting. What are you doing to grow now?
Well, I think it's a multi-pronged attack in a sense, and we're not necessarily. I guess we're not really focused on growth as we are focused on working for the right clients and working with the right people. We've always said that we're a relationship-based firm, and that holds true now as it did on day one of the company. And I think that's a very strong similarity that Jeff and I have. We're both really driven on relationships first before the project. So that's led us to do some pretty unique projects because our clients are entrepreneurial as well. So I would say the way we're trying to grow currently is focusing on getting the right clients, having a diverse mix of clients, and I think that's something that's been tremendous with Jeff coming and bringing his clients very, very sort of outside the typology, I guess, that we were doing. So the mix itself really diversified the type of work that we do currently, and then that allows us to sort of combine our forces and our thinking and be able to say, we have all this expertise. How can we bring it to other clients that really need services that we can provide?
Yeah, I think the other way that we're growing, Elmer, is it's the people. We have people that have worked all over the world in big firms in New York and Chicago, San Diego, all these different places. We have an architect from Shanghai that works in our office now. And what's interesting is as we say that we're working in 15 states and counting, the vast majority of the work that our office is doing is still right here and close to home. So, but you bring that perspective of working in other cities with other people and collaborating with other engineers, and you can bring that back. And similarly, the staff is we've got an amazing group of people. You know, and you get to talk to a lot of people. You're from another place. You're in Milwaukee. You know, those of us that are from here thought we wanted to leave. I'm glad I stayed. And I think there's a lot of people that come to Milwaukee and that are working in our firm. We've been able to attract a lot of talent where they don't get to ride their bike from their home past the project site to get to the office, and that's powerful. That's powerful. So I mean, we're stealing people from big Chicago firms, and it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
So that's how we're growing, and then they bring relationships that we don't know how those are always going to necessarily. You don't know who they know, and you know, I think we're growing really in many ways through the professionals and the talent, the creative people that we bring on, more than trying to find new clients, for instance.
So you know, I'm really interested because as an architecture firm, you're actually affecting the physical culture, if you will, of this region. And I wondered if you had any ideas about how what you do can change the way other businesses, other business owners, and people relate to this region as it comes to growth and making a better southeastern Wisconsin.
That's a softball, man.
Yeah. I think that what architecture and the environment and the built environment can do for people when you do it well is really inspire a sense of hopefulness and you know, how great this community and you know, our world can be, and that's really the power of architecture. It's not just a physical, it's you know, it's psychological for a lot of people. You know, being in a really well designed, really sort of inspiring place really can lift people's spirits, and I think that's really our job as architects, is to you know, search for ways that our design brains can help lift people up and get people to understand that you know, the physical environment can not only help businesses, but it can really help people be better.
Yeah, and I think, Elmer, you know, this is one of the things that we you know, say to people that might consider coming to the firm, and I would say this to businesses that are considering being in Milwaukee, or the way that they think about how they're, you know, where they're locating or where their workers are. You can help shape the future. So if you're coming here to work with our firm, you can help shape the future of the firm. And if you're willing to work on a variety of projects that we have in our office, I mean, we're doing, you know, big, you know, high-rise work. We're doing small restaurant renovations, or neighborhood plans, or mixed-use developments. I had a kickoff meeting internally with a team this morning that's going to work on a small urban school project, and the person that's working on it has worked on high-rises in Chicago. She's so excited to work on a school project in Milwaukee. You can help shape this city, maybe in ways that are more profound, you know, on a human scale than Chicago. And I love Chicago. I mean, I'll take the train and go down there, but you know, we hear a lot of people say just the impact you can make and the quality of life in this city. You can actually drive to the beach, park your car next to the sand, and go to the beach. You know, these people that are working in our office now, that they bring not only that perspective on quality of life, but also just this genuine interest and gratefulness to be able to work on you know, smaller scale projects and sort of the Milwaukee scale, if you will. So we're growing, and we're not trying to stay small, but there is definitely a scale in Milwaukee that is more human, and I hope we don't lose that as a firm or as a city, and I think we'll hang on to it.
You know, I just to add on to what Jeff says, I think, you know, it's the professionals that we have here. We couldn't be doing what we do without them, and we do have some pretty amazing people. I think the thing that's a little bit different, you know, with the company that we're, you know, building, and I say building because, you know, we're in the process of building. We're not a company that's sitting back and saying, well, look what we've built. It's really about the future, and I think to be able to work on projects that not only change the psyche and the landscape of architecture in the community, but to be able to be involved in a company that you can shape the future of this company. And that's really exciting. You know, some of the projects that we do, they're very intricate. We purposely search for ways to and simplicity does not mean that it's simple to create. And I think we work hard to get to some pretty inspiring, you know, designing pretty inspiring places. But that again is sort of the challenge that we pose on the professionals that are here. How can we make something better? How can we, you know, not as a group of architects that truly want to change the landscape, how do we always challenge ourselves to be better? At the same time, that in itself is going to help the company become better. And then how do we as a company become better as a entity that provides for, you know, better architecture and better professional careers, essentially.
Mm-hmm. So I have one last question as we think about wrapping up, and hopefully this one won't be as much of a softball, Jeff. You're speaking to the business community at large, and you've got an audience of business owners and sort of participants in the entrepreneurial community. What's the one piece of advice you'd give them to change their trajectory?
Be prepared to work hard. You know, that's the, you know, I don't want to quote a lot of people, but I heard a quote from Mark Cuban of all people recently, and he said that's the secret sauce, man. Work hard, you know, research, get out in front of people. You don't have to be necessarily the most talented or smartest at whatever your business is, but you do have to be willing to, you know, get it done. And I think I'll tell you, I was never worried about getting work or getting opportunities. You know, what keeps me up at night is, can we get the work done well? And that's my advice. And that's that. And so what's behind that answer is hard work.
Yeah, and I would say absolutely that neither one of us are in this position right now currently without, you know, hours and hours and, you know, thousands and thousands of hours of hard work. You know, and in addition to that, I think it's do something you're passionate about, because that obviously makes the job easier. But it also, you know, I think when you're passionate about something, you truly put your sort of heart and soul into doing it well, and people see that. Your clients see that, the community sees it, and that's something that I think we could continue to try to do every day.
Yeah, you know, trust your instinct. It builds confidence, but the hard work you put into it is really, I think, where that confidence comes from, because you know that you're going to be able to deliver. So,
correct.
I think that's great advice and a perfect spot for us to end. So from Jeff and Matt and from myself, Elmer Moore from Scale Up Milwaukee, thank you for watching with us. Guys, I hope you have a incredible, fruitful, and passion-filled year. Thanks so much for participating.
thanks, Elmer.
Thanks, Elmer.